Faith leaders from across Jacksonville came together to talk about a tough topic, hate crimes. Zach Wilcox attended a community meeting about protecting places of worship. And Zach, unfortunately, Jacksonville has seen several instances of hateful messages the past few years.
Yeah, Anthony, the Florida-Georgia game's coming up this weekend, and of course last year during the Georgia-Florida game, some folks may not remember the score as much as they remember that being the night that we had anti-Semitic messages projected on the bank as well as some buildings in downtown. So tonight really focused on a couple of key topics: identifying hate crimes as well as preventative measures that places of worship can take and what they need to do if they do have an active shooter situation. Tough conversations, as you mentioned, to have, but for one imam I talked with, they're the kind of conversations he feels like he needs to be having right now.
The hate and negativity is increasing. We need such educational programs more and more.
Imam Bilal Malik from the Islamic Center of Northeast Florida says he vividly remembers a time in 2017 when he feared the center would be the target of a hate crime. They learned of an active shooter threat.
We were fortunate that FBI caught him before.
Since then, he says the Islamic Center has welcomed the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office and the FBI on multiple occasions to help create a plan for responding to an active shooter. To get those same tips to faith leaders across the city, leaders from the FBI, JSO, and Homeland Security held a workshop to share resources available to them.
When the Justice Department reached out with this program that would bring all these members of the community together, including all of our faith leaders, I thought what a fantastic way to give people that feeling of comfort that we want everybody to have, especially when they're in their places of worship.
An assistant U.S. attorney used examples of hate crimes they've prosecuted in the past to drive home one key reminder.
It might be a one-off voicemail, or it might be several or something else, and how important it is to retain that and let law enforcement know.
A presenter from JSO mentioned they've had 4 calls for religious-based incidents since 2022.
There could be more. The reports just never make it to us. So again, I stress, please, if you're concerned about anything, call us.
Members from Homeland Security talked about the importance of deciding your response to an active shooter, whether that be running, hiding, or fighting, and sticking to that response. They also talked about the $50 million in grant money the department has that places of worship can apply for to help prevent and prepare for attacks.
As much as you learn and educate more, that's the weapon we need.
Yeah, and there were a couple of other topics here as well that they talked about, kind of establishing a sense of normalcy, noticing when something may be a little out of place or a little odd on a day and kind of keeping an eye on that, and then also just identifying what people in your congregation may need in terms of when they do have an emergency, if they need any kind of special assistance through that. But hey, I just took 3 hours of a conversation, bottled it into 2 minutes. If you're a faith leader out there and you feel like you need to learn a little more, you have another opportunity tomorrow. They're going to have another one of these meetings at 9 in the morning, also at the library in downtown. On the North Bank, Zach Wilcox, First Coast News, on your side.